Hi, my name is Tom Gannon. Some of my comedic influences are Dan Curry, Drew Michael, and Austin Young. And I really hope you enjoy this. Thank you.
We are now looking at Tom Gannon.
Seen the new Captain America movie? All right, I think Captain America's weird. I saw it too. I just think it's weird that Captain America's weapon is a shield when you would think if he was really Captain America, his weapon would be imperialism. And, it's weird to me because Captain America, if he was really, embodied America, wouldn't be a real superhero. Like Superman, faster than a speeding bullet. Flash, goes fast. Captain America, takes a long time to debate something and then act on it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And his sidekick is the Falcon. You'd think there'd be an opportunity to call the sidekick the Eagle, but apparently even they are not that dense. Or not dense. Anyway, I was at the movie, and I was eavesdropping on somebody else's conversation, and he goes, now, I don't care what movie we see, but gun to my head, I'd rather not see the Tyler Perry movie. And, that's a weird phrase, gun to my head, because, I've never seen anyone ask the question, hey, what movie do you want to see? And, just so you answer, I brought this pistol. But, I think the thing about the phrase gun to my head is that it depends on who's holding the gun. Sure, if your friend's holding the gun, you'll be honest about the Tyler Perry movie, but you will most certainly not be honest if Tyler Perry is holding the gun. You'd be more like, oh, Tyler Perry, I'm so excited to see you cross-dress. Again. You know what? Just shoot me. Just shoot me. I also watch movies on my television. I watched the movie Batman Begins. Right, round of applause. You've all seen Batman Begins, correct? I didn't know this. Apparently, Batman is Batman because as a child, he was afraid of bats. That wouldn't work for me. As a child, I was afraid of being alone. So, when Batman catches criminals, he throws a big metal bat. What does Lonely Man throw? Take this. Frozen dinner for one. Take this. Cell phone number, please. Or, what if I grew up to be the superhero Lonely Man? You'd see me in my lonely cave, a.k.a. bachelor pad, and my sidekick, no one, would come up to me and be like, Lonely Man, come quickly. Someone's kidnapped the mayor. What are you going to do? And I'd be like, text my ex-girlfriend and see how she's doing. I'm a Michigan State student. I'm a student at Michigan State University. And, thank you guys. You're applauding for me. I didn't know this was part of my pandering set, but it still is. And I once did a charity show with 3 a cappella groups. 2 separate a cappella groups did 2 separate Fall Out Boy songs. So I have to imagine that they sometimes fight over songs. They both wanted the song Dance Dance. It's listen here, Spartapellas. We get Dance Dance this week. And if we don't get it, sugar, you're going down. That joke's identifying the people who are under 50. Wait, what? Oh, no one was talking to me. They were just talking loudly to the person next to them. Never mind. Anyway, so, MSU, you know MSU's mascot, right? What's MSU's mascot? Yeah, the Spartan, right? And I was a TA for a class, and this kid once came up to me, and he goes, Tom, I can't do my project. I can't turn it in. Can I have an extension? I didn't know what to do, but I saw a bumper sticker on his computer, and it said, what would Spartan do? What would Sparty do? And I remembered, Sparty is a Spartan. And I've seen the movie 300, so I kicked him into a circular pit. Spartan. I'm a Spartan fan as much as you can be. I mean, I'm not that much into sports. As you can tell by my disheveled appearance and weird manner of speaking and not enjoying of sports, I am a huge fan of mathematics. Who wooed for math? Okay, well, okay, you did raise your hand because I was going to be like, oh yeah, who wooed for math? And then it's too socially awkward to admit to it. But why? Are you a big fan of math? Oh. Yeah, okay, whatever. Thanks. Thanks. Now I feel great about this set. Like, hey, Ma, hey, Dad, today I got to go to Battle Creek, and I did so well that some guy tried to woo to make me feel better. That is where my life is at right now. But thanks for humoring me. Thanks for yelling our Pythagorean theorem. That's what everyone knows, Pythagorean theorem. I've tried to explain to like people like why I like math, and I think the best I've come up with is that the thrill I get from like working hard and solving a math problem is the same thrill that a normal person would get from never having to do that. Like you all watched the show Big Bang Theory, I assume, right? Round of applause if you watch Big Bang Theory. That show stereotypes people way too much. Like, I know a bunch of people who are like them and really like math and science, and I know that no one who likes math and science has more than 3 friends. Oh, cool. Is this hat, like, somebody's? Oh, cool, thanks. See, this is going to get a more homey environment now. Guys, where else are you going to get this hat? At your house? I think not, people at home. Look, guys, my iPod's dead and I need to charge it. You can't charge it at home, can you? But at Battle Creek, there are outlets right on the stage, which I remember that I had to use. 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. I don't know if you're going to have to blur that out on TV or something, but, Wait, what? Drug-free bar? Do I sound like I'm on drugs right now? Because that's like, that could summarize my act. Like, he doesn't do drugs, but he probably should because he's fucked up enough anyway. I don't know. I'll tell you a fun story to get you guys back, even though that charging phone thing was hilarious. No comedian after me touched my phone, by the way. Like, once I was at this party, and this girl came up to me. She's like, Tom, walk me to my car. It's getting late, and I don't want to be kidnapped. And I don't want to walk her to her car, so I used math and I used statistics to get out of it. And I said, you know, statistically, you're less likely to be kidnapped if you walk to your car alone than if you walk to your car with me. Thank you. Greg got it, guys. Because, yeah, I'm going to kidnap her. Thank you. Man. First, I get humored. Oh, thanks, Dan, giving me the 1 clap. I'm not even insulted that you gave me the 1 clap. I'm insulted because I think you just sat down and I've been up here for 7 minutes. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to give him that 1 clap, give him a taste of his own medicine. Maybe I'll go have a few whiskey things. Okay. Well, anyway, I've noticed that my mom is the... Oh, shit, that's the 1 minute late. I'll end on this. I've noticed that my mom is the only person who will text me and say things like LOL or use the number 2 when she means the word 2, like TO. And I've also noticed that my mom is the only person who will text me. Thank you guys very much. My name is Tom Gannon.
Hi, my name's Austin Young. I've been doing comedy for about 6 months now. Some of my comedic influences might include Mike Birbiglia, Bernie Mac, Tom Gannon, Bill Burr. All great people, all great comedians. Hope you enjoy the set.
A little bit about myself real quick for you guys. My name's Austin. For those of you wondering, you might be wondering, what is that kid? What is he? He's black, light-skinned black to be exact. And I grew up in a black household, like a black family. And I'd always hear growing up, black people, we have it so bad, we have it the worst. But I don't think that's necessarily so true. I think the people that got the worst in life are light-skinned black people that look like me, Because, I'm in that unfortunate middle stage in life where I don't quite fit in with anybody, like, either side. I never looked quite black enough to play basketball past 8th grade, but I never looked quite white enough to get a credit card at Chase Bank either. Oh, wow, that's going great. And I mean, well, it's not really just banks, guys, that are, skeptical about how I look. I could be driving one day, and I get pulled over by the police, and, he'll come over, and I'll roll the window down, and I'll be like, is there a problem, officer? And he'll just look at me, Not quite sure yet. Why don't you go ahead and take your hat off for me? All right, son, get out of the car. Get out of the car. And, being African American is the layman's term. I don't take too many vacations anymore either. The last vacation I took, I actually went on a cruise, and I was the only black guy on the cruise, But then on the deck, I saw another black guy, and we kind of locked eyes, and we had the same worried look, like, how did they get us back here again? Why is it all over here? And but I like looking how I do. I get to notice certain things. I get to notice different things in life, which is really cool that I wouldn't be able to notice otherwise. Like, I was at brunch the other day because I look white enough. I do brunch. Fuck you guys. And I was at brunch, and I saw this lady 2 tables away drinking orange juice, and she choked on it, and she died. And all I could think to myself was, damn, OJ did it again. This motherfucker's out of control. Somebody stop him, please. So, fun fact, my mom's side of the family is from Canada. My dad's side of the family is from the deep south. Me being black, that says one thing to me. Half my family was fast enough, and the other half didn't really make it out in time. Oh, my parents would kill me if they heard me tell that joke. So I realized the other day recently how much we like to overeat as a country. We do. We're America. We love to overeat, right? I was back in Kalamazoo at a Wendy's, and there's this thing at this Wendy's called the Bronco Challenge, where if you eat a quadruple stack hamburger, you eat a large fry, and you eat a large Frosty, they'll not only pay for your meal, but they'll put your picture on the wall at Wendy's. That's the prize, guys. You get your picture on the wall at Wendy's. All right? I have trouble getting laid enough as it is, okay? I don't need girls knowing that I eat at Wendy's, let alone I don't need girls knowing that I'm now accepting challenges at Wendy's. Okay? It's all right. I think I saw your picture on the wall. Right next to mine. No. Fuck that. Mine's not going to be up there. I get mine in the drive-thru. Get this shit to go. I've heard a lot of girls who like to complain to me about how their love life is a mess. Like, my love life's such a mess. My love life is such a mess. And that's bullshit, My love life is such a mess, okay? I masturbate a lot. And the thing is, but the thing is, like, I don't watch porn anymore, okay? Like, I can't do it. It's too unrealistic for me. All right? Can't do it. 45 minutes? Fuck that. No one's lasting that long. All right? See, I guess I would watch porn more often if it was more relatable to my own sexual life, like my own sexual experiences. Like, right? Like, the whole video would just be 45 seconds long. 30 of those seconds, the guy would just be apologizing to the girl. She would leave frustrated and angry, and he wouldn't make another porno for 8 months. Guys, yeah, that's how I roll, I guess. Something. Wow, that must be what Kevin Budke feels like all the time. I said that must be what Kevin Budke feels like all the time. No? All right, moving on. Thank you, Taylor. A lot of people talked about weed tonight, smoking pot. I don't smoke anymore, guys. I don't. And I'll tell you why. I know James would have something to say about that. I don't smoke anymore, and I'll tell you why. See, I have a low tolerance for marijuana, and when I was in high school, when you smoked out of a bowl or bong, a joint, something like that, where you saw the weed. Nowadays, everybody's smoking like wax and dabs, and I don't know how to wrap my head around that. My roommate smokes that, and I had to go to work one Saturday, and I get out of bed, and I'm getting ready for work. He's like, "Hey, Austin, do you want to have a hit of this?" And I'm like, not really. I don't think I should, man. I got work soon. He's like, "Come on, man, just do it." And I was like, "Okay." And so I did it. And you ever been so uncomfortably high, that high where you gotta go in the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror and splash water in your face, tell yourself it's gonna be okay? Yeah, I was well beyond that. I had given up. I had accepted that it was over. I was looking in the mirror. I was like, "Listen, man, 22 years old, you had a good run." I was like, "Fuck it, Austin. It's done. It's over. You done hit the wrong pipe tonight." So the funny thing about that story is that, like, you know, I had to go to work that day. You know how, like, a lot of the time, you know, you'll talk to stoners and they'll be like, oh yeah, I got so high I showed up for work like an hour late. Oh, or I got so high I showed up for work like an hour and a half late. I got so high that day, I showed up for work a half hour early, okay? I had completely forgotten time existed. I get there, and they're like, hey, Austin, you're a little early. And I was just like, you don't work till 4. I was like, what? You know you're that high when you don't get the munchies. I worked at a cafeteria. They're like, you can go eat. Just go eat something. Kill 30 minutes. So high, I didn't even want to eat. I was just like, you know, I'll just take a glass of water and go sit in the back or some shit. I don't know. Just leave me alone. Is anybody here a fan of the show Law and Order? SVU. Anybody? Okay. This is gonna go great then. I love that show. I've noticed a couple of things about that show I've started watching recently. 2 things. One, everybody in that show is, for some reason, just like way too good looking. Like, I don't feel like it doesn't work that way in the real world, you know? Looks like they got the DA and like the prosecutor out of a Brazzers movie or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. The second thing that does make sense to me, however, is Ice Cube's character. Ice-T's character, my fault. Ice-T's, it's the half white in me, you know. Ice-T's character is incredible, guys. Ice-T's character always somehow knows the exact piece of evidence and the exact information that they need at that specific time, but he comes out of nowhere with it, you know? Like, okay, the 2 detectives will be talking, and they'll be looking at they'll be at the crime scene, they'll just be like, oh, double rape homicide, victim's face completely bashed in. Who could have done something like this? And then, fucking out of nowhere, Ice-T just turns around with everything they need at that moment. Just turns, like, out of the nowhere. Looks like our perp's name was Joe Washington. Operates a deli over on 53rd Street. I ran into him once 2 years ago. He was aight. Kind of like, thanks, Ice. Like, how long have you been back there listening to this?
My name's Pat Sievert. I've been doing comedy about 2 years. Some of my influences are Pete Holmes, Jimmy Pardo, and Tom Sharpling. I hope you enjoy the set.
Next, we have Pat all the way from Lansing. Get up here. Do you want the hat? All right.
Thank you. Very excited to be here. I've been doing comedy about 2 years now. I like doing comedy, but now I want to try to get famous. You know, that's my goal. I want to try to get famous. And I think if you want to get famous in comedy, you got to have like an endorsement deal. You know, like Bill Cosby, he had Jell-O pudding, Kodak film. David Carradine had really durable belts. I was a big fan of those. I need something like that, something to get me to the top. I think I could be a spokesman for the legalization of marijuana. I think that could be a cause I really care about. I'd be a good spokesman for. Like, I think I'd be the perfect spokesman for that because I don't smoke marijuana. So you guys could take me before Congress and they're debating legalizing it, and I'll wave at them. You guys can point at me and be like, there's a pussy too afraid to have a good time. He thinks it should be legal. Then you'll get it done. You'll get it done. Like, I won't space on the date or anything. It'll work. Like, I think marijuana should be legal for a lot of reasons. A big reason is medical reasons, because you don't know what could happen. You know, I could get cancer. I could get glaucoma. I could get tired of dealing with shit. I want marijuana to be legal for me if that happened. Yeah. Because it would be pretty great if you got sick with something, you went to the doctor, doctor's like, yeah, you're pretty messed up, but we got the perfect thing for that. It's called the chronic. You go down to the pharmacy, get that taken care of. You go down there, pharmacist would ring it all up, say you owe us a copay, sir. You'd say, that's cool, I got 5 on it. Yeah. It's the kind of world I want to live in, folks. The kind of world I want to live in. Now, like I've never smoked marijuana. I like to keep the temple clean, so I'm sure you guys can tell. But even though I've never smoked it, I've always thought it was interesting. I always thought marijuana was an interesting thing. because it's illegal, but it seems to get better all the time. It makes me wonder why we can't do that with legal things like corn and wheat. I don't understand. I don't understand that. I don't know why we don't have super corn at this point, folks. But I've given it some thought. I think if we want corn to get better, all we've got to do is make it illegal. Yeah. I think it would work. It would be an adjustment at first. Like, some people would really want corn. And they wouldn't be able to get it unless they knew a guy who knew a guy that could get them some corn. You'd have to be like, hey man, it's the weekend. I was hoping you could hook me up with some Redenbacher. I wanted to pop that shit off. And he'd be like, no, I can't get you that. I can get you some Nebraska yellow though. It's choice. Maybe some of you aren't on board with saying you want marijuana to be legal because I'm the one talking about it. And you're like looking at me like, this guy could be a narc from Lansing, are here to ruin our fun at the warehouse in Battle Creek. But don't, you can be scared, but I'll tell you right now, I'm 98% sure that I'm not a cop. I'm 98% sure. I have to give a little bit of doubt, because one time I took a class. It's a comprehensive 2-week course called DARE. And at the end of that class, I got a little badge with my name on it. I'm not sure if that makes me a cop. I'm not sure. I know I haven't been good at it for 20 years. Like, I don't have any busts on my record. My precinct was pretty corrupt, too. That was a problem. But I think if taking DARE did make me a cop, I'd be a cop at the elementary school played by his own rules. None. I'd be getting called into the principal's office every day. He'd be like, damn it, Sievert, you're a loose cannon out there. I'd be like, yeah, that's because I get results, Chief. You put me back out there. Like, you beat up that kid in the bathroom the other day. Like, yeah, but he was shooting up in there. I had to stop that. Like, yeah, that was insulin. He needed that to live. Can't go hitting kids like that. I didn't know that, Chief. And I hope he gets better, but he shouldn't have mouthed off like that. That's all I'm saying. Put me back out there. Like, if you don't straighten up, we'll have you wearing a sash doing crosswalk duty any day now. Can't do that, Chief. I'm the best cop you got. I'm a damn good cop. My partner got hit with a dodgeball last week. He was one recess away from retirement. You put me back out there. That's how I think that would go. That would have been pretty cool. Sometimes comedy is not that glamorous. Sometimes comedy is tough. Like a couple weeks ago, I went to Traverse City, Michigan to perform at a comedy festival up there. I drove 4 hours to get there, and when I finally arrived, they say I was going to have to pay $5 if I wanted to perform. So I did, and I got to perform for 10 people on a show that was hosted by a radio DJ named Omelet. So you know it was legit. And after my set, DJ Omelet came back up on the stage and said, hey, everybody, that's Pat Sievert, proof you don't have to be in good shape to do comedy. And I was sad, but that was also 2 years to the day of me doing comedy, and I learned something that night. That after 2 years, I can drive for 4 hours, pay $5 to perform for 10 people, and then get called fat by a grown man named Omelet. The glories of stand-up comedy, everybody. It got better, because a week later, I got a message from a girl in high school who wouldn't give me the time of day, asking me if I could get her free tickets to see Screech at a comedy club. I am a goddamn legend now in comedy, everybody. I earned it. I earned it all. Yeah, but, I'm 32 years old. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. A lot of my friends have kids. Sometimes I compare myself and I feel like maybe I'm behind them a little bit. But then I start to, feel good about myself. I'm like, my jokes are like my kids. My jokes are like my kids. They embarrass me in public sometimes. They cost me money. I'll abandon them when things get tough. Just like my kids. Speaking of winners, Taco Bell has breakfast now, everybody. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's a big game changer. I don't know, though. I don't know if I'm going to try it, because the waffle taco Looks more like a waffle taco, if you ask me. But even though it looks kind of gross and weird, it's kind of a game changer because Taco Bell took 3 things that aren't usually a taco and said, now that's a taco. They broke all the rules. Like a waffle, eggs, and sausage is not a taco usually, but now it is. Apparently all you need for a taco now is 3 things that can be wrapped up together. Pita bread, cold cuts, and cocktail sauce. That could be a taco now. Newspaper, peanut butter, and gummy worms. That's a taco now. I didn't make that rule. Taco Bell made that rule. We gotta live with that rule now. I've been doing comedy like 2 years now. I really like doing it, but I've been trying to think of ways if I ever got famous, what I would do. And I gotta sell merch sometime. Not at an open mic, but other places. And I thought about it, and I was like, if I was gonna sell merch, I'd want to sell something that would be sure to make money. Like I wouldn't sell T-shirts because if people didn't buy them, then I'd be out all the money I got to make the T-shirts. If I'd sold CDs, same problem. I want to sell something that everybody would buy. I would sell churros. So that's like the perfect impulse buy. Like nobody ever leaves their house saying, I'm going to go buy some churros. But if somebody was selling them, you would buy them. So I could say, hey, if you liked anything I said tonight, I'm going to be out back selling churros. Stop on by. You can smell them, I guess, if you don't want to buy them. It's all part of my 3-step plan to make it rich. Step 1 is have churros. Step 2 is make it known you have churros. And step 3 is stack that Skrilla. Thanks a lot. My name's Pat Sievert.
Access Vision. Your voice, your community.